In the early to mid-2000s, the internet and its culture were vastly different than what it is today. User-generated content was a thing, albeit quite primitive, and the mediums used for artistic expression were also quite different. Flash cartoons and Flash games were a staple of online content creation, but don't get me wrong, there were many options involving other methods and programs, but perhaps Adobe Flash gave the most creative freedom. The quality ranged a lot, but at the same time, it isn't hard to impress a young audience, especially with animation. Edginess, slapstick humor, lol-so random, tons of references to other media were very common themes. I mean, you could make a cartoon about a stick figure swearing then exploding to the tune of compressed Benny Hill, and it would probably get 5 stars on Newgrounds. Bonus points if you can somehow integrate George Bush into it, but the creators who had original ideas always came out on top.
I hate you all so much.
During the same period, Counter-Strike was at the peak of its popularity, so naturally, fans started producing tons of animations, comedy skits, cinematics, machinimas, and whatever else came. Some of them were personal projects by people who came and went, but the most iconic ones remain in the minds of many, such as me and you, and we are probably wondering where did they come from and what happened to them. So that is why I am here to try and answer that question using investigative journalism, which is just rummaging through archives and browsing websites. So let's do this!
Enemy spotted.
But before we start, I just want to mention descriptions of animations will be vague, so if you want to watch the full things, links will be in the description. Beginning with one of the oldest examples, I Hate You, My God. Starring Conan, a stereotypical nerd who is playing CS, gets owned, then proceeds to rage and blame others for hacks. A tale as old as time. It's honestly a bit relatable, and the voice is kinda funny, which explains why it was so popular. Also, pushing the crate, that is so not CS. But what is My God? It appears to have been a community website with the intent of trolling in online games and getting others to rage, which explains the purpose of this animation. And what is the origin of it? Most versions you have probably seen don't have the outro, which shows it was made by Stoned Gorilla, who can be found on Newgrounds. And right here is the original from 2004. But you might have noticed this is a sequel. The first one can be found in the same place. The idea is the exact same but with less animation, so the sequel is more so like a remake. Stoned Gorilla has other animations from the mid-2000s, and his first ever is from 2001 about CS. CT's Kick Some Tear Ass. Yep, classic stick figure violence. The owner of the account has moved on with only a single post in 2020 when Flash was shut down, thanking Tom Fulp and Newgrounds. CS Assult Attack by Bender Tunes. Alright, I'm sure many of you never really understood the language because it's in German, but honestly, the animation speaks for itself.
Na klasse, Noobs.
On CS Assault, a guy ends up with a team of noobs and attempts to wrangle them up and try to win, unfortunately with no success due to their stupidity.
Hoppala!
Now, the animation might be minimal, but it gets its point across, and it's longer than most internet cartoons. About 15 minutes if we count the credits, but they are full of these fake outtakes, which are my favorite part. So who is Bender Tunes? Besides being the creator, he also has a website that contains all of the archives from previous works dating as far back as 1999. Mostly comics about CS, other games, and nerd culture, all in German. The origin point isn't Newgrounds, but the German CS community website and other similar places. Apparently, the Assault animation premiered at the Invasion Deluxe LAN in 2003. Not much info on who he is, and there haven't been any new comics in years, but he may still be active online considering he does have his own stickers in the CS workshop. Sounds of CS. Oh man, if you were on the internet back then, this song was the definitive CS song. It's an absolute bop, even today. It has inspired many others to make the same in other games. Yes, this is the first and original one. Everything else is a copy of it. The stick figure animation goes so well with the music video. It was made by StealthBeast, originating from Newgrounds in 2006. He has made only a few other stick figure animations and doesn't have anything else CS related besides this. As for the song, it's not by him, but by DJ Bar, who apparently made the song way back in 2002. I couldn't track down the origin point of it, but at least according to StealthBeast in the description, who also didn't know who made the song, this is DJ Bar's account to which he uploaded the song, plus another one. Both accounts have not been active in over 10 years, so, you know, same story as before. Speaking of stick figures, time for arguably the most popular of all, Flashdeck animations. The series follow the adventures of stick figures with characteristics based on common player stereotypes you would find in multiplayer games. We're all familiar with the immensely popular DE Dust 2 animation, which has 120 million views on YouTube, but how far back does it go, and who or what is Flashdeck? The origin, as usual, is Newgrounds. WX, or Wei Xing Yong, born in Malaysia, living in the UK, started using Macromedia Flash 5 at the age of 11, becoming instantly enthralled with the medium, and being an avid CS enjoyer, it was a perfect match. As for Flashdeck, it was the name of his website, of which unfortunately there are no archives before 2008. The beginning takes us to CS Mansion in 2003. It was a simple beginning. Wei Xing was only 12 at the time, but this was still good. Got daily second place. Nothing too specific happens besides showcasing the hilarity of not having team damage disabled. Next episode takes us to CS Assault. Animation has improved, and this time it's a lot more elaborate, full of action, comedy, and too many matrix effects, but still pretty straightforward. And can I just say, he seems to have been a big fan of Final Fantasy VIII. In late 2003, there was a trailer for DE Dust. In early 2004, we got the full Dust, and this is what really cemented the popularity of the series. It was my introduction, and there was nothing quite like it. It's still a parody animation with action and comedy, but now it has way more pizzazz and character. Camper, Killer, The Pro, fan favorite Dumbass, SWAT, Psycho, Free Kill, and Assassin. Other than that, it's a regular round of CS, but for some reason it ends in a draw despite the bomb being planted, but whatever. 4 months later, the trailer for DE Aztec dropped, and soon the full Flash cartoon was released. Plot is the same, with more action, more matrix effects, and they still haven't turned off team damage. Animation has improved yet again. We have also new characters: Striker, the Pro who just switched teams for revenge, Lazer, Newbie, and Flashdeck God. I've seen way too many wannabes using that name. Thing I like the most here is, instead of being a straightforward movie, there are other menu options like the extras full of trivia where you get to learn about everyone. Similarly, something people probably missed are the extra scenes, and here we technically get the first appearance of Admin, laying waste upon those who dare mock him. After a few-year hiatus due to life and university, Wei Xing returned with DE Dust 2 in 2008. Once again, quality is an improvement. No new characters besides the brief appearance of Hacker and officially Admin. This time, along with Newgrounds, Dust 2 was officially uploaded to the Flashdeck YouTube channel, along with all previous works after concerns with re-uploads. Now, I don't know why exactly, but either due to the late 2000s animation boom on YouTube or CSGO's announcement, Dust 2 garnered massive viewership, and it was everywhere. Despite this being the last episode in the series, as per Wei Xing's own words on Newgrounds, the popularity couldn't be ignored. Some years later, he returned with a few short spin-off animations on a similar channel, each receiving millions of views. This led to the Hacker's Wrath announcement. Wei Xing wanted to make a sequel to Dust 2, but unfortunately production takes time and money, which he did not have. So a Kickstarter was set up with a 10k quid or 12k US dollars approximately goal. Unfortunately, nobody pledged, and this was the end. So what happened to Wei Xing Yong after all this? We know he was a student in '08 when he made Dust 2, but then later graduated with a first-class honors in BA Digital Character Animation. So, naturally, over time, he simply shifted his priorities to professional work in movies and video games. His CS animations may be popular, but his passions lie somewhere else. Flash animation was just a stepping stone. These days, he's happy and in a better place, so we may simply thank him for the good memories. On the bright side though, Luke HD made a fan animation of Hacker's Wrath. It's pretty good and on brand, so go watch it. Also, if you want a trip down memory lane, again, all links to the animations for both Newgrounds and YouTube will be in the description. Well, that was a fun ride. Hope we all learned something. And yes, I know, I did not talk about your favorite one, or any of the others, but overextending would be kinda pointless. I also did not cover 3D animations or machinimas, but rest assured, that will all be expanded upon some other time. I just wanted to focus on Flash for this video, seeing as how the history and their origin seemed lost due to how back then everything was constantly re-uploaded to different websites without any credit. That is why documenting and archiving the past is always important, so we don't forget who provided us with all these great cartoons. But you know what isn't great? Unclogging the drain in my bathroom. Maybe there are too many pubes in there. Gross, I know, but it has to be done eventually.